guys! Welcome back to StarrSoaps channel. How are you today? I'm doing pretty good. Today I am going to be making a soap that has been inspired by Malcolm in the Middle. That's right. If you've ever seen Malcolm in the Middle, which I'm sure you have, they have this random thing in it, and it's sort of only mentioned just for a little short period. So if you are a fan and you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. But it's called Leftover Parfait. Now, if you want to know what I'm talking about, check out, I think it's season 3, episode 10. It's called Lois's Makeover, and it's in the very first opening little part of the episode, and they talk about what leftover parfait is so that you can be in the know about what I'm talking about. So today I'm making a leftover parfait soap. That's right, I'm taking a whole bunch of leftovers from all sorts of different soaps, smushing them all up, rebatching them, and making a new soap. And I'm using a new rebatching technique as well. So stay tuned to see how I make my leftover Parfait Starr soap. Squee! Okay, so here I've got some bags of the soap shavings that I'm going to try to melt down for my leftover Parfait soap. I tried to mix, should I say, match the colours. Ooh, tongue-tied. But it was kind of tricky. So what I ended up doing is I've got one here that's obviously kind of all white, all my white-ish soap shavings. One here that's got some white as well as some pink and red, so that should be a pink one. One here that's blue and green and white, so hopefully that'll come out sort of like the bluey green. One here that's going to be brown. This is just sort of all sorts of orange and brown, so that one's just going to be brown. This one is all ones that have little exfoliating bits in there. So ones that had coffee grounds inside, or ones that had poppy seeds inside, something scratchy in them. And I thought that would just be like a scratchy layer, just make a scratchy layer. And this one is going to be black basically, like maybe black and white, but mostly black or grey. Because most of those ones were like black and grey. So that's how I separated them out, and I shaved, grated them all up, and I saved you guys watching me do that because it was a little bit boring and took a long time. But it was a good thing to do, and I wanted to say actually about that whole process that I learned a bit about my soaps. Some soaps that I might have put a juice or a fruit or a vegetable puree in, they tended to be softer, and when I grated them they wanted to come off in like nice whole pieces. This was the same with fresher soaps, so that's like a peppermint soap that I just made about a week ago. But other ones that were older, like they turned into like dust. Look at that, it's like the soap dust when I grated them. So it was really interesting to feel all the different hardnesses that I had in different soaps. I even had a soap from a really long time ago in this one that is still soft and squishy, even though I made it about 3 years ago. But it was made with a very high level of cocoa butter and shea butter, so it never got very hard. But that was an interesting experience. I learned a lot about my soaps. So because I've had a good sniff and across the board they all smell quite citrusy and sort of fruity, I'm going to stick with that, and I'm going to add a little bit of my Saigon fragrance, which smells very much like lemongrass to me, and a little bit of my lemongrass fragrance oil. That'll go into each little bag along with a little bit of another oil, which I think I'm going to use olive oil because that's what I have on hand. Not too much, maybe a tablespoon or 2 per bag, depending on how large, you know, how much soap there is. And also I might add a little bit of stearic acid, I was thinking, to help the final soap to be hard. And I was going to maybe add a bit of colour. So like with this one I thought I'd add a bit of red colourant, and with this one I'd add a bit of blue colourant, just to try to punch up the colours a little bit. I don't think I'm going to do anything with the brown one or any of the other ones, but I think I'll add a bit of blue and a bit of red to those ones, and so that'll all get all mixed into the bag. And as you can see, they're double bagged, so that'll just go into the inside bag, obviously, the one that's got all the soap in it. Then I'm going to put them into a pot of water that I'm going to have on the stove. I'm going to bring it up to the boil, then I'm going to let it simmer. So it's going to be simmering. It's going to be warm, hot water simmering, and I'm going to put the bags in the water, and I'm going to hopefully do it that way. That's my plan. It's very new to me. I've never done it before, but I'm hoping it will work out, and I'll squish it all around until it's all pretty much melted in there, as much as it will get, because as we know with rebatching it doesn't really melt 100%. And then I will probably, in fact I'm almost thinking now as I'm talking to you about it, which is why I love talking to you guys, thank you, that I might use my crock pot. I might just have my crock pot full of water, put my crock pot on, again, starting it out on high till it gets nice and hot, then putting it on low. That might be better because I think less heat's going to be better. We want to slowly melt them and I'll be able to like squish them around in the bags to incorporate everything. And then the final stage that I'm thinking, my little niftiness, is that I'll pull out this inside bag, snip off a corner and pipe sort of the goopy gloop soap into my mould and do sort of layers of my different leftover soaps and make my leftover parfait. So wish me luck. Fingers crossed. I can't even cross my fingers. Fingers crossed. Let's go and make us some leftover Parfait Starr soap. Squee! Hi! Okay, so it's time for us to take our bags and add them to our pot of water. In each bag I have added some stearic acid. See those little beads? It's the stearic acid. Some coconut milk that's frozen. It's a little piece of frozen coconut milk. Some olive oil and beeswax balm. That's what that is. So there's a little bit extra butters in there. Some extra fragrance oil. And in the ones that we discussed, the extra colour. Now, it's looking like I might have overfilled my pot. So I might have to just get some of that water out again. So my crock pot is on high. And I'm going to sort of try to bring it up to a nice warm temperature and then drop it back down. I actually have 6 bags here and I don't think they're going to all fit. I think that's going to be all that I can fit in this time around. And then I'll even completely submerge and sort of floating. But we'll see what happens. And we'll come back. Okay, so we're back again after about 1 hour of the crock pot being on high, and the soap is starting to melt inside the little bags. As you can sort of see here, I'll take this one out of that other bag so you can mix it all around and see how it's sort of starting to melt. This is our brown soap. And it's definitely like more melted in this corner and like not really melting on that side. So still needs to go back in for longer. I've got the white one quite melty on this side. So I think I might flip that bag upside down as well. So far the bags are holding up to the heat, which I'm really happy with because I was worried. Because the original tutorial by Soap Queen says that you have to use freezer bags, and I didn't have any freezer bags, I just had these little Ziploc bags. I feel like the bags with less air are working a lot better. Like, they still kind of have a buoyancy to them, they still want to float a bit, but they definitely seem to be working better than the ones that have like a lot of air in there. Here's one of our, here's our red one. Yeah, this is our red one. So you can see how the colorant is sort of getting kind of worked into the soap. This is a fun experiment. At the end of the day, even if it doesn't work out that great, I'm not that bothered because it was all just sort of leftover bits of soap anyway, so I haven't got much to lose. Once they're all sealed up, they go back in the pot. And then I can take my little container here, fill it with water, being careful not to overflow my pot, and that sort of holds them down under the water a bit better because they're all floating on the top. And then I take my lid, put my lid on top of that, ha-ha, and we're cooking. So I'm going to go away for another 20 minutes, half an hour, and come back again and check them, and with any luck they'll be ready to mould. Fingers crossed.
Feel like StarrSoap if you need love in the driest area. Remember the soap that can make you merrier. StarrSoaps. You won't find another another soap that makes your body feel like Starr soap. If you need love in the driest area, remember the soap that can make you merrier. StarrSoaps, 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 StarrSoaps. Made with love and the finest ingredients. They make you feel like a queen of the world. When you wash your body, you feel good, and you know that you could be the best that you can be, because you've got the best and bath and body StarrSoaps. You won't find another soap that makes your body feel like Starr soap. If you need love in the driest area, remember the soap that can make you merrier. StarrSoaps, 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 StarrSoaps. If you need love in the driest area, remember the soap that can make you merrier. StarrSoaps, StarrSoaps. You won't find another soap that makes your body feel like Starr soap. If you need love in the driest area, remember the soap that can make you merrier. StarrSoaps, 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 StarrSoaps. Made with love and the finest ingredients. They make you feel like a queen of the world. When you wash your body, you feel good, and you know that you could be the best that you can be, because you've got the best and bath and body StarrSoaps. You won't find another soap that makes your body feel like Starr soap. If you need love in the driest area, remember the soap that can make you merrier. StarrSoaps, 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 StarrSoaps. Feel like Starr soap. If you need love in the driest area, remember the soap that can make you merrier. StarrSoaps, StarrSoaps. You won't find another soap that makes your body feel like Starr soap.
Alrighty, and here we have the final soaps. It's kind of an abandonment of my original plan, isn't it? See, I originally meant to put all of the layers of soap into one mould and call it the leftover Parfait, inspired by Malcolm in the Middle's leftover Parfait dinner that they had. So it would have been brown, red, white, blue and pink all in one. But I ran out of room in my mould, so I topped the sort of Neapolitana coloured soap with little dollops and some glitter, and I think they look really cool. And I topped the pink and blue soaps with little skulls and little crossbones. And look, the skull here is my favourite, because you can kind of see him sort of poking out. Very cool. So all in all, for a rebatch, for some leftover scraps that I had, I think they turned out really cool. And what I love the most about them is I can use them right now, right away. I don't have to wait for them to cure or anything, so that's pretty cool. Let them get a bit harder and then we'll be able to lather up and go to town. Now, I don't plan to sell these because they are the scraps and the leftovers. They'll be given away as gifts, but I'm really stoked that I tried out this new technique of doing rebatches in baggies. I ended up getting more fluid rebatch in some of them than I did in others, and as you can see, some of them barely even melted the soap shavings at all, but that kind of has a cool look to it as well, especially up here where there's this like cluster. I don't know if you can even see that well. Bring it over here. Yeah, there you go, you can see that. That looks amazing, but it's not quite what I wanted because they haven't sort of melted completely. So I think rebatching in the crock pot or rebatching you know, the standard way is potentially a better way to melt all your stuff completely, but I really liked this for kind of quick and ease of cleanup. I just chucked the bags in the bin when I was finished, squirted the soap as well as I could into the mould, and I was done. So I hope you enjoyed watching me do this funny little rebatch, and if you did, then please feel free to hang around, and if you're not already, subscribe, become a member of the StarrSoaps family, and feel the soapy love. Bye now!
You need love in the driest area. Remember the soap that can make you merrier. StarrSoaps, 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 StarrSoaps. Made with love and the finest ingredients. They make you feel like a queen of the world. When you wash your body, you feel good, and you know that you could be the best that you can be, because you've got the best and bath and body StarrSoaps.